My staff and I got fired for reporting our employer. I worked for a school district as grants manager. They were misusing funds. I tried to get them to fix it, but they ignored me. I couldn't have covered it up if I wanted to. So I told the feds. It's far from the only problem. My staff also reported something to me, which I was legally obligated to turn in. Now they're firing us both, since we're both on contracts. Rather than fire us on the spot, they notified us that they won't renew our contracts. It's smarter than firing us. But I think it's still clearly retaliation. I'm suing them. Still, I've never been fired. I feel terrible and somewhat responsible that my staff got fired. I feel betrayed. I'm scared for the well-being of the children under these corrupt admin. I care less about my own job than my staff and the children. I need to get these evil mother f***ers all fired. Any ideas would be most welcome. Edit. I made a throwaway account to post this. It seems like my responses aren't showing up. So to generally respond to some of the comments, I am in contact with a lawyer. Things are developing quickly, though in my head it's agonizingly slow waiting hours, days for emails. The report I made might not be considered whistleblowing. I'll see what the lawyer thinks. The misuse of funds couldn't have been covered up. So I talked with our program officer in the federal government. This was partly to cover my own ass. They already knew, to some extent, what was going on. However, it's the tip of the iceberg and I'm not that sure whether they'll do a full audit to uncover everything, or just accept repayment of the misused funds. I've been debating to what extent I should shout from the mountaintops, so to speak. We'll see what the lawyer says. Sadly, I've been making as much noise as I can, and somehow this whole tiny town is scared of the school district superintendent. Other staff have come to me that they're scared they'll be fired too if they speak up. I'll almost certainly sue, and my lawyer is willing to represent any of my staff that go to him. I might get a little compensation out of that, but I'm not sure it'll get the people who are really doing harm in the schools fired. It'll at least bring attention. I also think there should be state intervention, but I don't really know how to get that process started. Be proud of yourself and thank your staff for their willingness to come forward. I would consult a lawyer. But if you feel very strongly about the misappropriation of funds, this might be good to take to local news or mention to parent groups or other fund sources that you know would be equally upset about it. If it was federal money, you may also be able to recover 1/3 of what the government takes back from your former employer. This is called chi tam. It can be a ton of money. You need a lawyer. You have a lot of protections and a lot of dangers as a whistleblower. You will remember doing the right thing in 10 years more than the struggle now. Wouldn't whistleblower protections be applicable here? Evil prevails when good people do nothing. Also, doing the right thing is rarely the easy thing. Now that that's out of the way, here's some advice I hope helps. First, do you have documentation of the wrongdoing? Documentation that you have that they can't touch? If so, great. Figure out your goals. Who is your biggest priority? The people that got fired? You? The students? The school district? Now figure out a rough plan to take care of them. If you want to look after the people that were fired yourself, you could force a settlement with the district. Pay us X and we won't sue. You really want to talk to a lawyer to help you navigate this. You'll want stuff like performance reviews, especially if they were good or better. That way it's harder for the district to argue they didn't renew because of bad performance. If you and your staff are together on this, you could possibly go the class action route. When and if your lawyer advises it, you could go to the media and PTA about what happened. But you should probably let the investigation play out first. It's one thing to say, I have evidence. The district is being bad. It's more powerful when an investigation is finished. Fines are issued. And then you can go back and say, we want to teach our kids to stand up for what's right even if they're retaliated for it. I stood up. I reported illegal acts and I was fired for it. Now here's what they were doing in detail. Talk to a lawyer and see what they think about publicity. You know, an interview with the facts on local TV. Everyone loves a scandal and cover-ups. Especially when it's on the local level with tax dollars. People will call. No one will wave to Fred except to shout, "Fucking bastard thief." Single quote. Lawyer up and don't post anymore about it on here until it's all been resolved. Lawyer up. Immediately. A good journalist would lay you for the story. Popcorn. You were very much backed into a corner. If they got in trouble, you would be the first head on the chopping block. In this case, they're being impossibly stupid by firing you and giving you a case for retaliation. Then again, my school districts are impossibly stupid. I can't tell you how many times I've seen so much poor behavior because of a mixture of greed and stupidity. That's a taxable offense. I can't offer any legal assistance, but I can offer my condolences and one simple thing. You did the right thing. A lot of people wouldn't because they'd be afraid of exactly this. You are probably going to cause them a lot of pain in the future between the federal investigation and lawsuit. So please, relish it, and don't ever change. Go to the press. https www.whistleblowers.gov/ https www.ftc.gov/office-inspector-general/whistleblower protection https oig.justice.gov/hotline/whistleblower protection. Lawyer up. You should have a state board of education which might want to hear your concerns. For certain federal funds, states are vulnerable for malfeasance by districts, especially if they know about it. Newspaper. I had a corrupt admin and the district did nothing until things were reported to the news. Then they had an emergency meeting, and he was gone. This seems like a case for the EEOC, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Retaliation is illegal. While that's a terrible thing to happen, is it really a firing if you weren't employed by them? Would it be more correct to say you lost a client? Lawyer, 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 then move out of state.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.